Yep, we back at it. We live again, man. It's your host, Rell Purnell, aka Cautious Rell. And we here again. Network is my network podcast where we talk business, we talk entrepreneurship. Keep it real on here, y'all. We got a special one today. CEO Sass. He's gonna bless the stage. We're gonna bring him in a bit, man. We're gonna talk biz. We're gonna talk what we always talk, man. Business, real business, not the the fluff stuff that you guys see on social media. We're gonna talk real biz. So let me bring these guys up in here. Agent, man, he's the other host. The other half of the network is my network. So we're about to get this thing started, y'all. Stick around for it because it's gonna be a great one. He said big everything. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. CEO Sass, what's good, fam?
What's up, Playboy?
Yeah, all is well, man. I'm digging that hat, man.
Thank you, fam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
Yo,
J
hold on.
Hall agent, what's good?
Yo, hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
All right, hold on. Let me go out and come back in. Hold on.
Cool. Just having a little technicalities going on. That happens.
you.
That happens, man. How's your Wednesday going?
It's going, man. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, how you feeling?
Look, all is good, man. It's no complaints. No complaints at all.
Oh, you smiling, so that's a good thing.
Facts. Look, you gotta smile through all the weather, man.
Always. Definitely, man.
Smile through the ups, smile through the downs. Just to really be here after a crazy 2020 that a lot of people was having, man. That's a blessing in its own.
I definitely know about that.
Yeah. All right, let me send J Hard Agent another invite to see if we can get him up in here with his All right, bet. You good. Sound check.
Yeah. Can you hear me? We good?
Yep. You perfect.
Hey.
Perfect.
My guy, what's
What's up, Playboy?
good, man? I love how you slid in the Amiri shirt while sitting in your business, but we'll discuss that at another time. This ain't the place for that. I love that though.
Hey, it's only right?
Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna let you kick it off, man. CEO Sass, would you mind just giving us a brief introduction of who you are, where you're from, and what you're about?
Okay. CEO Sass, born and raised, Baltimore, now residing in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, Residential commercial investor, owner of Design House Fabrics, and now my new baby, Liquidated Me LLC.
I seen that in the bio. I seen that. This is a man of many ventures. Go ahead, take it over, Jay.
Yeah. So, first off, it's sad. So you've been on our platform and listening to what we talk about, but the main
Yeah.
reason why we came up for this is because of guys like you, guys like ourselves, where we're successful in real life. Let me just say that. And there's not a lot of capping involved. So it's speaking about what we really got going on. These are verifiable things and adding a level of validity to social media, because what tends to happen is, once guys get super wealthy, then they go back and it's like, all right, I want to speak on my CEO Sass days, right?
Right.
I'm successful now, but now that I got a Billy, I'm gonna tell you what happened in the trenches, the
Yeah.
failures, the money loss.
Yeah.
So for me, just to spend 2 seconds giving you your flowers and then handing it over to you, we're gonna ask you some questions. I grew up or came up as a young man with your brother, who is, your brother Jamal is a great guy, super savvy investor as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always talk to me about your exploits, and he would say, man, my brother is hold on, he would say, yo, my brother's on the same thing that we on. You need to meet him. And from the very first conversation that we had, you dapped me up and was like, yo, you cool with my brother, so I'm gonna give you game right now.
Right. Family.
And it was never nothing funny, no games. It was always, I can pick up the phone and be like, yo, I'm looking how to go left. And mind you, my background in real estate is I've lent money to people for years to buy commercial and residential real estate. I've managed portfolios of commercial and residential real estate. But your experience was different because you did it in the trenches. And you came up, you came up with some strategies, which I'm not going to share if they come up on this call to find. If not, I want them to tune into your class so you can delve into it. But you had some guerrilla style strategies that you did to build a portfolio of business in a way that no other investor was looking at doing it. And it always intrigued me. So to I guess, get into the question part of it, what was the first thing that got you focused on saying, I'm from Baltimore, where nobody that comes from the part of Baltimore we from focuses on real estate? What got you focused on real estate?
Man, just, coming out of high school, not knowing what, I wanted to do, and I never forget how I ended up getting into real estate was my sister's ex-husband, right? And I never forget him telling me, like, you just came out of high school, you don't have any bills. Let me show you how they've been buying properties, right? So I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Well, he did title work for all these big companies. So he was like, look, I'm gonna give you this book, which was called a tax sale book, right? Houses go up for taxes, cheap and everything. And give me the list. I don't have any money anyway. I'm fresh out of high school.
Right.
And I'm looking for the cheapest thing on the list. I'm looking, and we from Baltimore. Everything, bacon, man, all kinds of stuff, So I look at this list, right? I see this house, and it was $246, right? And everybody be like, nah. I'm like, so I tell him, I go past there, and I'm like, oh, it ain't bad. Take the board off the house, go up in there. I'm like, whoa, really? It's not bad. I mean, like, it still had the roof. Sheetrock was decent and everything. So I'm like, all right. I go back and tell him, and he was like, all right, let me do some title work on it. He come back the next day. He said, guess what? It's paid for. I'm like, you lying. So
what year was this? Put it in context. What year was it? $246.
I graduated high school in 2000. So, right? So that's how I stumbled across doing real estate. So, I went through the process, and I started buying tax sales. So from the tax sales, that's when I started. Now, mind you, I'm still living home with my mom's, right?
Right.
So I'm stacking, stacking. My pops helped me fix that up. And, from there, I'm still at home with my mom's. And it was just like, I finished school, got a better job. Then I started getting into multi-units. Mind you, before I bought the house, I'm still living home with moms. So she's like, why are you buying a multifamily and you live with me? Like, just watch. Just watch. And, that's how I ended up getting into it.
Okay. So that'll tie into my next story / question.
Okay.
So I saw recently, we won't speak to where it was, that you sold a multifamily property.
Definitely. That was my very first property.
We like watching your vision, because you started in 2000, right? In 2000, to put it in perspective, I'm coming out of school 2 years later. I'm thinking about buying a car. Right? For as intelligent as I am, my focus, I had the same vision, but my vision was closer to, like, all right, when I get to the age of being able to drink, I'm going to transition then, right? Immediately, it's like, I need to get a car because pulling up on the females I'm trying to pull up on, I can't do it without a vehicle, right? So for you to step out in that way in 2000 and make that decision, how long did it take for your parents to see proof of concept from you to say, oh shit, I think my son got something, even if I don't understand it, let me step back and let him cook a little bit because I think he got something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what? Still to the, I mean, you know what it was when I bought my house in Baltimore, and then I bought a big boy. I bought the big boy. You know, back when when we used to go to Drew Hill.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh listen,
Yeah,
I pulled
yeah.
up on it before.
You know,
I know.
I was the young boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through the park with the Benz. You know what I'm saying? My mom. So I remember letting my mom's hold it. And she used to be like, "No, I don't want to drive this around. I'm going to get gas. They running up to me and stuff like that. I don't want to drive that." But it still wasn't really good because I had my faults. Also. So she
Okay.
was still kind of like, my mom is always like, "Why? Is everything all right? Is
Yeah.
everything all right?" You know how your parents are. Especially
Right.
when you're an entrepreneur. And she like, "Is everything all right?" Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The business good, right? And it's like you gotta keep your face. You know what I'm saying? Everything good. I don't want you to worry.
Okay. That's a fact. Okay. So couple
Yo,
more real estate. Go ahead.
let me ask a question very quick, man.
Yeah, jump
What's
in,
up?
jump in.
He said he came through the park with the Benz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big boy. And I'm a Benz guy. I'm a car guy.
I know that.
I want to know, like, at a young age, right? As Jay Hall said, like, we was focused on cars, we was focused on clothes. Like, how in the heck were you focused on investing at that young age and not so focused on the cars right now or the clothes or chicks? Like, you got to be super disciplined to touch money, good money at a young age. You working and you in the real estate, so the money was good. Like, like where did you get that discipline from?
You know what? It was a good discipline in the beginning, and then it just like it started
Okay.
piling up
Yeah.
because the thing was like I was buying so many property. I couldn't even remember addresses. Like, I was buying so many properties, and I was like, I guess, when you're young, and then somebody in your family, people in your family never had nothing, and you get it so quick, you're not disciplined. So I was disciplined in the beginning, and then
Okay.
I lost control, and it was just like, man, what can I do? You gotta recoup, definitely.
Great question, bro. So okay, so you pushing the Benz. I don't want to say fall off, but you make some bad decisions, which we all do as young men as part
Yeah.
of this grind. But then at some point, you turn up the strategy
Oh yeah.
because one of my favorite things to tell people is I'll never forget, I was working in Morgan Stanley. I'm sitting at work and I'm in the middle of this portfolio situation that's crazy. And I get a text message and it's from you. And the text message is like, look at what I bought during my workday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at it, right? And it ruins the rest of my day
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, yo, why didn't I make this move during the course of the day? And you're like, listen, I got the right team around me. I got title company. I got this. I got that. And then I got a chance to know, of course, I knew your brother, but I got a chance to know your brother from a business perspective. And then the other partner that you guys had at the time, Ebony, and seeing that y'all was so, once you guys got into a unit, y'all was such a tight unit where, let's just say if individuals weren't doing what they needed to do and paying their rent,
Yeah.
it was being addressed.
Oh yeah.
And it was being addressed in a way where you guys had a very high rate of success in terms of being paid.
Oh,
So coming from where we come from, where very few people are built to not only invest, but to properly manage their own investments. What was it about you guys, or how were y'all able to bond together? Because we both know the level of stress that it takes to not just get the asset, but to manage it as well, and manage it well enough where you're not taking big L's.
Right. Well, they say 2 L's equals a W. So when you take them L's, and in Baltimore, we got. I mean, in Baltimore, you got rent court every day. Like, that's what's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That just shows you that people don't pay rent. So the type of properties we had like apartments. So I mean, we had houses too, but it was like, they weren't in the best areas. Some of them was, up and coming areas and stuff like that. Whereas though, once we started losing money, it was like, okay, we got to find out how to get our money. So we learned how to garnish wages. And there's not too many people that, had property, were able to do it themselves. They had to go and hire somebody. Whereas though, we was teaching people how to do it. Because we were just like, man, I mean, we would attach their bank account, their checks. We like, yeah, when y'all get paid, we get paid too. So, you just gotta learn, because trust and believe, man, we done had people sitting properties, man. I mean, play the game, Baltimore is like, it's a tenant city, to be honest. When you go to rent court, they like to play the games, get an extra couple months and stuff like that. And that was just something that we learned. Like, okay, y'all keep playing the games. Whereas though, like I said, we was garnishing people while they were still sitting in our property.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so
then they started, the city changed, little laws and stuff like that. So you know how it go.
this is a fact. Okay, so Rell, I'm gonna hand it over to you for a question in a sec, but I got one more I want to slide in before I turn it over to you. So that brings me to, I guess, another point that we can eventually get into now as we transition into your fabric biz. But the other thing that I've learned about your strategy from a business perspective is, once you find out what needs to be done, you automatically go for the connect. So we had a garnishment conversation, and you was like, I'm not paying anybody. Right. I'm gonna go to the connect. I may pay the connect to learn the operation, but then I'm gonna bring it back to my people. And if I can monetize it, that's fine. The people within my particular network, I'm gonna educate on it. For you, what part of your mentality, because so many times, especially in situations like that, people are so desperate to even be in the game that they'll pay anything. They'll pay for a class, they won't vet it out, they won't investigate. And if they just lose their money, which a common theme on the internet now is people following these people that they feel like are giving them real game and paying money, and it's going left. So what was it about you that made you feel like, I appreciate understanding what I need to do, but let me go to the source and get my answers rather than relying on other people that look successful?
I mean, knowledge is key, man. Knowledge is key, I mean, you keep taking losses and losses and losses, and you're paying a mortgage. And this is the reason why people lose their houses. After a while, you see so much, it's a desperation, like I gotta do this in order to get the money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you gotta invest in yourself. I'll tell anybody, whatever you do, you gotta invest in yourself and learn it and master it. Once you master it, I mean, you got it down pat.
That's real. Rell, it's on you, my guy.
Before we transition to, the fabric biz, at your height, how many properties, did you guys have in your portfolio and that you guys were managing? If you don't mind answering that.
Maybe about 30. I mean, we still got properties. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't need. Oh, I forgot about it.
So you guys still have properties in
Yeah.
Baltimore to this day?
Oh yeah, we still got properties. Yeah. So I mean, nothing changed. You know, I mean, we made. You know, we all live separate lives. I'm in Atlanta now. They're in Baltimore. So it's like when we get together, when we ready to do it, it's like all right, it's time to do it. Right now, sis working on she got a liquor store. We put our money to the good.
Yeah.
More cleaner business. And still got his got properties. So.
Man, I love it. I love it. But it seems like, no, the foundation came from investing in the real estate.
Yeah.
Using money and the money, the earned income money to invest in other avenues.
Exactly.
Was that the strategy from the jump? Like, yo, I'm gonna invest into real estate and then use the money to invest in other things, or did it just spiral effect into that?
Definitely. And so use. That's always been everybody's strategy. If I use this, I can do this. But after a while, is you got to learn other things like credit, and stuff like that. You don't really need the money.
Facts.
That's a fact. So, all right. So my next question: how does a young black man from Baltimore with no connections to fabric ends up in Atlanta, Georgia, building a fabric empire when his background is in real estate and he had a job doing something that was completely not related to fabric?
We all know money, right?
This is a fact.
We all know money, and we all know what how. Let me tell you, this is how I ended up into it. Yeah, I've been, and well, my wife, she was like, she's a seamstress, and she was like, man, I'm tired of buying from these high price stores, right? So I'm like, what you talking about? She making clothes and stuff. I ain't really paying it no mind. So she take me to a fabric store, and she was like, look, they get $80 a yard for this. What? $80 a yard? She like, yeah, you know what a yard is? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. She like, I'll show you something else. She say, this $150 a yard. I'm like, 100. I'm chasing people around for $800 a month, and they making money that quick. I'm like, nah. Let me do a little, looking into this. So I looked into, going to China, and when I was researching it, it was basically saying that nobody in China speaks English. Everything is point. Everything is point, but it is cheaper. So what ended up happening is after I looked, I said, you know what? I booked the flight. I booked the interpreter. I said, we're going to China. She like, no, you lying. I'm like, no, I got tickets right here. We're going to China. And man, make that long flight to China. And man, I'm gonna be for real. It was probably the best investment I've made. The best. I mean, in Baltimore, we all got houses, but after the houses, what's next? What other investment is next? And so I always had that hustle. So to see the prices, and I'm like, man, I can make that. What I'm chasing people for a month in a day, I'm like, all right. So, we head to China, set up them connects, and there we go.
Okay, so what I try to convey to people about being on this side of of entrepreneurship is that it's a different animal, right? And if you ain't built, like it's not what you see on the internet, it's not what you see on television. If you ain't built a certain way, it's not gonna work for you.
Right.
And I want to have a conversation with you because what do you think an individual has to have in them internally to say, I'm gonna book a ticket to a foreign country where I don't speak the language.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go there with my savvy and have a conversation on their terrain, which, you know, coming where we come from in Baltimore, when you on somebody else's terrain, you adjust how you go, you know, you adjust how you operate. In this case, no, I'm gonna get an interpreter. I'm gonna come on your terrain. I'm gonna negotiate what I feel like is an amicable deal,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we can do business. What do you have? What do you feel like from an entrepreneurship perspective, an individual has to be built for? Because you say it, and we laugh about it now because I know the story, but everybody can't do that.
Right.
So what do you feel like? Is that something that can be taught? I guess what my question is, can that be taught into someone? Or is that something that's internally part of the fabric of you as a man?
And something like that is just like, you just can't be scared, man. Like anything you do, you can't be afraid. You know, like I would advise anybody, you know, I know people probably scared and everything with everything going on, but man, everything comes from China, man. You know, I mean everything. If you wanna open your own uh, auto zone, China, man. Everything comes from China. And if you think Alibaba is a good price, I mean, it might be a good price for, you know, for anybody, but to go over there and really know the prices is something way different, way
Right.
different. So I mean, you can't be scared, man. Business, you can't be scared. You gotta jump out there, man.
Where,
That's a
where,
fact.
where does that come from with you? Like, you know, that fearless, that I feel like I can do anything. Like, where do you think that come from?
Tired of being broke, you know, tired of being broke and just trying to, you know, figure life out, you know, what you want to do in life, you know, because man, I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, honestly, I just know I hate working for people, you know. So if I mean, if you really want to be a business person, you got to step out there. Anything you want to do. If you want to do hair, blah, blah, you follow what people are doing and you know, you make your own lane.
Were you always like that, like growing up? Like, did you have any like entrepreneurship type of businesses as a kid? Like, where were you slinging candy, renting bikes, renting wagons? Like,
You know
I mean,
what? I take that back. You know what? I will say, you know what? Um, I got that from. I will say, God rest my brother's soul. I got that from my brother, because I remember when we was a kid, right? We used to be on Dukeland Street, right? And it used to be a tasty cake factory down the street. And I never forget, he used to be like, "Man, they put these tasty cakes out of there, you know, outside. We can take them back up on the block and we can sell them." And we used to do that. You know what I'm saying? We used to go down there, bring tasty cakes back up, and you know, I used to follow him all, you know, all over the place. We used to go squeegee. You know what I'm saying? Go to the, you know, can I clean your window? Pump gas. So yeah, I would say yeah, I definitely got that from him.
Okay, so you're in the Atlanta market or whatever. I don't know it. You know it better than me. So let me ask you then. Is that your story you just told is extremely common where we're from in Baltimore? Do you feel like you see that from some of the young people there? I say that because for me, my version of that was I used to buy penny candy and then take it to school and sell it for 5 cents a piece. Like, but that was just naturally that bartering system, the mowing of the lawns and the shoveling the yards. Like everybody I hung with, that's what we did to earn additional money, which converted into business as adults.
Right.
Being down in Atlanta, do you see, like, how often is it that a guy comes and says, "Can I clean the windows at your business?" Or do you see that hustle, or do you think it was a generational or geographical thing?
Man, down here in Atlanta, I will definitely say, man, it's a lot of hustlers down here. I mean, no matter where you go, they're trying to out hustle you. They got the little caps, the cap gang. Find it, you know. And it's about 4 or 5 of them. Find the cap, you know. I mean, and you already know the water, you know, the water boys out here. I'm pretty sure they
That's a
aggressive.
fact.
They are.
Yeah, we heard about them.
Yeah, they aggressive, bro. Yo, they aggressive. Yo, you get $1, yo, we all want $1, yo. Yo, roll your window down. Roll your window down. It's crazy down here. But yeah, definitely, man. I mean, down here, I would say let me tell you, it's different. Only because it's like we always think money. I gotta have money to do stuff. Down here, what's your credit? You know, that's the big thing down here, credit. You know, it's not a money thing.
Gotcha.
You know, in Baltimore, we don't make enough. I don't got enough money, you know, and stuff like that. Down here is not a money thing, because if you got the credit, the money will come.
Okay. You got a question, Rell?
Yeah. You know, we talk about entrepreneurship a lot, and, you know, our target base is really entrepreneurs, business owners, or people who looking to be entrepreneurs as well. You know, with your level of business, you know, experience in entrepreneurship over 20 years, what can you share with our viewers? You know, tips, things that you can do to excel, how to overcome obstacles, you know, in this game of being a business owner / entrepreneur.
Well, one thing I would say is, don't always think that you need a whole bunch of money to invest into anything. I'm actually doing a course next Tuesday, how to live for free, because I really live for free, and I'm not using my business money on any form. My money is my money. I use the credit for all my bills. All my bills. I don't pay for anything out of my pocket. So I would basically tell anybody, man, if you get your credit, like, it ain't got to be the best. If it can be in somewhat order, I'll show you how to get a free bag.
Okay.
Credit. It sounds like credit. So credit is king.
Credit king, dog. Credit king, power. You have all the money, man. Credit is king, man. Credit is king. You can do anything you want. Anything you want. If you want that, when I mean you could do anything you want with credit. And I almost feel like if I think if my city knew that even more, it would be like, oh my gosh, it would be, man.
That's a battle that we're fighting a battle, and after this pandemic thing is over, you know, we're gonna talk offline. I'd love to find a way to put together and sponsor a class to bring you back home to talk about it, because it's one of the bigger issues that plague us. What I do find is that there's starting to be a focus on it, but it's not a focus on it until you're ready to bust a move.
Right.
Like when you want to get when you want to get the Benz with the good terms or whatever the case may be, then you say, damn, I can get it, but it's going to be a 19.99 interest rate.
Right.
Now I need to get my credit right.
Right.
You need to buy a house because you're tired of renting.
Right.
So we're very reactive as opposed to proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
When it comes to credit. So and to your point, you now living in a different market, I feel like people back home, you know, will be more receptive to your feedback, because now it's you coming from the outside and saying, We missing it. The only thing that, you know, what I see in the black market, just in business as a whole amongst African Americans in Atlanta, we could do here,
Man.
but it's the knowledge that we get it, but we don't get it until way later.
Man, you so right. You are so right. Like, it's just like, man, I just wish I can just like hold everybody's hand and just tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, you know, if you use this, you can, you know, like I'm gonna give you one thing that people don't know about, you know, is you got a credit card. I'm gonna give you an example. Somebody got $1,000 credit card, right? How much you think you can get off of that credit card? A lot of people think, oh, my cash advance $500. Nah, you know why? Because a lot of people don't know how to liquidate them cards. And I'm gonna show them how to liquidate them cards.
That's a fact. Listen, and that's why I think I'm looking so much forward to your class next week, because it's going to be presented to them in a way that they can understand it. And you know, you develop. I mean, to me, I think the other side of this message is that once you put the message out there, people want to support you because you're a genuine guy. What I'd love to see for our community is, I don't think financial status has any connection to knowledge.
Nope.
So the analogy that I give to people all the time is, people used to ask me why would I listen to, you know, someone that's homeless on the street. And at minimum, I would say, number one, I'm gonna respect the fact that you're homeless, because I come from poverty. But at minimum, if nothing less, they're gonna teach me what I need to know to not end up homeless.
Right.
And I think sometimes we get into a space where, okay, so I can learn from Brandon, and Brandon comes in and he's very successful. But when X guy that doesn't have the assets that I want comes in the room, and he supports Brandon's message and says, "Hey, I get it, and I'm on that mission myself," it turns into, "What kind of car you pushing, man? You ain't wearing a Mary."
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, like it's and we miss blessings because there have been people out here that have been given the game.
Yep.
But you know, if the way our city operates, if I put you in a white Hanes t-shirt, bring you in a room, have you drive up in a beater, they may step back and be like, "Who did?"
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, go away, y'all. But because of who you are, verifiably in the real world, it makes the message more valid.
Right.
And I think the long-term plan is to get to a point where we can share these messages amongst people, and financial status doesn't matter, because knowledge is knowledge.
Knowledge. You know, I had a convo with my mom the other night, and you know, we talked about our culture versus other culture, and I was trying to explain to her, do you think they just inherited money? Because even if you inherited money, you got to have some type of knowledge to keep it, right?
1,000%.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like I was explaining to her, I'm like, man, the things, I took a lot of losses and stuff like that, and I used a lot of my money, you know. And if I would have knew what I know now, I would never be using my money. Never, ever.
Leverage.
Nah,
Everything
bro,
is leverage, and we so far behind, man. I just wish, you know, the Instagram thing, you know, people look and say, oh, you know, people taking pictures in front of this and that. And I just be looking like, yo, you can do that. It's
that's a fact.
All knowledge. Right? It's all about what you want to learn.
I think it's knowledge. I'll also say I think it ties into being willing to stand on your own, because the people close to you, they're not going to get it. Like, once you provide proof of concept and they see you moving, then it becomes, all right, man, you know, I believe in you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But until you show that,
right,
you know what I mean? And so one thing I want to share because I want to give you a chance to talk about your platform, Sass, before because we may be coming up against it for IG to shut us down. Your brothers in the comments, salute them all. I gotta share with you. I won't say names, but I overheard a story over the weekend, over the Father's Day weekend, about how your brother evicted somebody that he loved to death, like a brother, that he shared the house with him. And he walked in on him and dapped him up and was like, "Man, listen, bro, I love you, man. You had a good day today. I was work. Everything all right? I'm gonna need you to get your belongings and you gotta vacate immediately." And it's funny, right? It's a funny story, but this person is telling the story in the concept of that conversation changed my life. Like my man coming to me and dapping me up and being like, "Listen, bro, I can't treat my other tenants this way and treat you differently, even though you're my brother. You gotta go." And it was like I tried to use that to drive people home to understand that for as good a guys as you and Jamal are, when it comes to business, there's no weakness. And that's the message I want to develop that I want people to take from this is that family, friends, my man from back in the day, shorty I used to talk to, it doesn't matter. Anybody can get it. If you don't pay, you have to be removed from the property. And I think that mentality is part of what I've watched from you and your brother, where you guys won't take shorts. You won't get over on anybody. You do ethical business. But at any moment, if somebody takes that business relationship and leverages it in a negative way, then it's, I'm sorry, you got to get it. I still love you, though. I'm going to still hit your phone. I'm going to still see you. All of that. We just can't do business.
Right.
So I had to, now with your brother being in the comments, I was saving that, but I had to share that. And I wish I recorded it because it was so hilarious how he helped the brother put his stuff in the bag, help him carry the bags outside, shut the door behind him. But nah, man, I want to, in case they shut us down, fam, I want to give you a chance. Please talk about your business, talk about your class coming up. And we got to do this again for part 2 because I want to do a deeper dive on design house fabrics and some of your thoughts about the fabric business. But give us a breakdown of what you're doing.
Definitely. First of all, I appreciate both of y'all, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is gonna be big. Yo, what y'all can't.
I appreciate it.
Yo, gonna be big, yo.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
Yo, and Rell, I've been watching you for a minute, man. I'm like you're like a celebrity, dog. I've been watching you, dog. Don't think I ain't been watching you. I've been watching you, yo, for a minute, yo. You know.
A word. All right.
Yeah, definitely, fam. And Jay, yo, I see the moves, boy. The bag, I see the bag keep dropping. I know we talk.
I tried, my guy.
I supposed to be talking about my business, but I watch everything, you know. But you know, check me out. Designhousefabrics.com. In store and online, you can shop. My course, Live for Free, dropping next Tuesday. Let me show y'all how to get a bag for real, and live for free. You know, Liquidated Me LLC. That's my new baby. That's how I'm gonna show you how to liquidate that money, how to get the bag. Man, and you know, just keep on pushing.
Cool, bro. I mean, to close this out, Rell, before I turn it over to you, my guy, to shut us down. I appreciate you coming on the platform. I appreciate the words. I feel the same way about your platform because I know the game that you're going to give. And, you know, I'm comfortable speaking for Rell in this way to say that our platform is fully in support of yours because I know what you stand for and I know the game that you're going to give. And we definitely going to chop it up after this pandemic quiets down, man, to get you back home because I want to get you in front of some people to understand that your course and your methods, while being completely legitimate, are only the super savviest of investors are going to understand it. And that information isn't delved into in our communities. We graze in it, but because a lot of people don't understand it,
And don't
it doesn't come to us. and they don't want to share it, right? So I definitely want to say that as well. I look forward to having you back on the show again to talk about your endeavors in the fabric business, because it's remarkable for me to watch what you built this thing into, and it began from a conversation in your brother's living room 2 days before you got on a flight.
Yeah.
And to see what it came into is amazing. But Rell, close us out, my guy.
All right, so we started at 7:15. So we got a couple more minutes.
Oh, we did? Okay.
I'm gonna sneak a few in here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. My bad. I ain't know. All right, let's do it.
And Jay, if you got a few, we can sneak a few in here if we got, a little bit more of your time, Mr. CEO. But what was the transition from Baltimore to Atlanta? Like, why, when? I mean, it seemed like you had a lot going on in Baltimore at the time. Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
I mean, I always wanted to move to Atlanta. I just think it was time for me to get away. It was just like, it just fit for my family to be here for what we're, trying to do. And, just, with my wife being a seamstress, it's fashion capital, I mean, we we do the custom here. Like, if you come here to Design House, there's no fabric you can get in any other store. We make everything custom, whereas though you ain't got no choice. And, other than that, being a black man, being black, we fashionable, anyway. We ain't dangling no samples saying, do you like this? We know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what it is.
Cool, bro. You got another one?
Yeah. So, as far as the Atlanta deal, man, because me and Jason, we was actually talking about Atlanta as far as real estate, right?
Okay.
We know you're into real estate as well.
Mm-hmm.
How is the market down there compared to up here?
It's the same, man. You know what? I always thought when I moved to Atlanta, I'm like, it's gonna be cheaper. Man, the prices are the same as up north.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, and you would be like, well, the cost, they always try to hit you with the cost of living.
Yeah.
But man, you can get deals. You definitely can get deals. The building that I'm in right now, where my fabric store is was an empty property for 4 years.
Wow.
For 4 years, nobody even thought about this property. And it was like, man, I lucked up. Whereas though, hey, built out, my wife used to be in the front. Whereas though, bought another one across the street. Hey, I put a tenant in the front. Now I got a convenience store.
Man, look, you a guy of many ideas, but also executing on those ideas as well, man. Look, this is my first time meeting you.
Okay.
But I've heard a lot about you. Heard a lot about this guy, CEO Sass.
So hold on, I gotta correct you. This is not your first time meeting him.
Whoa. Okay. No. You know what? I think you did say I met him when we was downtown that time, right?
So years ago, Brandon came home to come to an event I had related to my wedding. I'll say it
yes. Yeah.
And
I do remember
so
that.
you met him, but him and his brother got locked out of his car. His
brother
left his key in the car.
Yep.
I do. Yeah,
I stayed with him.
That was a bad time.
I stayed with them, and I let y'all go. You was like, "Yo, what we gonna do?" I said, "Nah, I can't leave my man. They came in town."
I remember that.
So I'm gonna stay, but it was in passing. We ain't
Yeah,
get
yeah. Brief, maybe finish
yeah.
10
And then we were supposed to
up.
see him again when we went to do business in Florida at the end of 19. I was supposed to see him in Atlanta, but
Oh,
time
yeah,
got mixed
yeah.
up. Time got mixed up, or whatever. We wasn't able to make it work, and our layover was going to be over before we could link. So we ended up jumping on the plane and coming here. So this is the first formal time where it worked out or whatever. We was able to connect.
Yeah.
Oh, and I see your brother in the comments laughing. I'll never forget you frying him for
Because
locking that
I
key in
ain't
the
lose
car.
the keys. He probably lost the keys.
He definitely lost the key, and it was $250 to get a key cut after 9 p.m. and you wouldn't let him live it down. I will never forget that ever.
Hey, Jay, man, yo, we got to get down the ladder, man. So you're
Definitely,
saying this,
yo. Definitely. Y'all got a place to
we
stay?
Yeah,
Come on
listen.
down.
That's love. Appreciate that.
We got to get down there, man, and to I guess for my last question, and then we can shut it out because I don't want to hold you too long. I love watching. You know, I got a chance to meet your wife in passing one time. She had come up here. They gave you a birthday party. She came up here, whatever. But from a distance, I've watched you guys build an empire at the same time that you built a family.
Yeah.
And I want to and talk to me about that dynamic, because the way social media in the world would like it to be seen, right, is that powerhouse woman who becomes a millionaire meets millionaire guy later, and then they come together. Y'all came together on a money mission and are building it as a unit.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how that works, because me watching from a distance and seeing how y'all move, you starting a brand that fits directly into the brand that she already built from scratch, and how y'all are cornering the market there. How does that work? And how do you meet somebody so equally yoked and connected to like that they move the same way you move?
Yeah, man. She definitely special. She in the comments right there, tagging Design House. But man, like, I mean, one thing for sure is like, we branch off of, everything. Like if she's doing something, we throwing ideas off of each other. Like, that don't work, that don't work. And you need somebody to, say, not always be a yes man, yes woman, yeah, that's my significant other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever you say, yeah, that's good. And it works, man. Like, yeah, I got the fabric store. Now the whole thing, the corner of the market is the block that y'all trying to buy from all the way down overseas, because now we doing manufacturing. So I got the fabric. We're gonna put the people in place. She already started hers. She got manufactured. She just bought. Well, she just got her new place, where she gonna be doing manufacturing, in-house manufacturing, not outsourcing anything. I mean, it works. Design House, manufacturing up next. She got hers. I'm up next.
That's a fact, and I wanted to bring that up because the thing that connects outside of my business and personal relationship with Rell, that connects us, is our wives.
Definitely.
Our wives are the driving force, and I'd say the same thing. We had the same dynamic where it's a lot of bouncing back and forth of ideas, and either sometimes because there's a misconception that just because your wife may submit to you in your marriage, that means that, to your point, they become a yes woman.
Yeah.
Nah, so it's different than that. And for me in my own personal journey, I can remember 6 months into mine and thinking about the money I left on the table and telling my wife, like, yo, are you really good with me putting y'all through this?
Right.
I can just go back. I can go back and get this bread fast.
Yeah.
And her being like, listen, fam, listen, you either gonna pull the trigger and be who you supposed to be,
Yeah.
or stop talking about it. And then still being able to bounce ideas back and forth, watching that same dynamic with Rell, and the information that I would give that I want male viewers to take from this,
Right.
that Your business success is just as much predicated on your selection of a woman as it is anything else. Because if you get married or have a significant other that does not want to hear your ideas,
Exactly.
does not want to give you ideas back, doesn't want to be creative, doesn't want to support the risks that you take, and in most cases, maybe they love you, but they don't believe in who you're supposed to be, you're going to come to this fork in the road where you either going to have to pick your business or your family.
Big fact.
And if you select the right woman, you don't necessarily have to make that decision.
Exactly.
And like I said, what I love about it is anytime I see, because I would say the same thing for Rell as well, we've built what we built with our wives. And it feels a little bit more genuine and comfortable in that situation. So I had to speak on that and salute to y'all for in-house manufacturing. When we run this thing back and do this thing again, I want to delve into that more because I want the viewers to understand how serious that is to manufacture your stuff here in America. Not just as a Black business, but as a business. It's super hard to do.
Exactly.
And I want people to get it and understand it. And I appreciate you guys standing together and doing it. Like you said, yours is up next. I salute that and I respect that. And I assume that Rell would agree with my sentiments about wives.
Yeah, 1,000%.
That's a fact.
So, big shout out to designhousefabrics.com, the whole design house empire.
Oh yeah.
Big salute to you and your entrepreneurship and business journey, man. As crazy as it sounds, you're just getting started, my guy.
Yeah.
You're about to be turned up to a whole nother level.
And let me show you something. Not to cut you off, real quick.
No.
Let me show you something real exclusive that you can only get at Design House Fabrics.
Let's do it.
Y'all see that? You never seen blacks on fabric, right?
Ooh.
Magazine joints?
Yes. Yes.
Yo, listen. Oh, listen. And also, since we did that, we got to shout out Ryan Marie Designs as well. Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah.
Next level.
Level.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we gotta get down there. We gotta get down there, man.
Definitely.
Like yesterday. Like yesterday, man.
We gotta get down there.
Yeah.
You know how in Paid in Full, Cam was like, yo, DC move.
Yeah. DC ready for us.
Atlanta to move. Atlanta been a move, man.
Atlanta been a move.
Definitely. And me and Rell, we definitely gonna do better. Because we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to get this Toro money. Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, we're gonna get this Toro money.
I heard the Toro game down there is crazy. Every time I jump on Instagram, yo, it's either the dude Matty J or somebody else talking about the Toro money, and they got crazy.
Let us in. Let that Baltimore money come on in.
Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna have to spend like at least at minimum 5 days in Atlanta. At minimum, just to really, run around 7 days to really run around. Touch some historic places that I heard in rap songs.
Yeah.
I'm coming there for real estate. I can't just.
Look, I'm gonna definitely come there for real estate as well. I want to eat some good food. I want to enjoy myself.
Definitely.
But I want to feel that hustle, man, because I know that hustle, that energy
down here.
It probably. Would you say you've been to New York, right?
Oh yeah.
Would you say the energy is like New York?
Man, it's 10. I ain't gonna lie, it's like times 10. You're a regular celebrity that can go to a city and they be like, ah! When you see them, it's just like, we all celebrities.
Yeah.
It's Black Hollywood.
Black Hollywood. You see him, you dap him, keep it moving.
Yeah, man. I was in Atlanta for a day with wifey. And this was maybe 2019. You know, the food was good, the energy was good, the hospitality was, you know, definitely on 1,000. But I didn't have enough time for us to like really run around.
Right.
Next time I get down there, I want to really run around.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, dog. Definitely.
That's a fact. And listen, I owe him when we come down. We'll make sure whatever he drinking, whatever he doing is on us. I owe him. I'm years late, but my hustle been so crazy up here trying to get 5 minutes out. But we definitely gonna get down there and chop it up. And I also want to walk through. I want to walk through the operation. I want to get something made for my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. I want to get the real feel because I got some other things. What's up, Jay? I got some other things in mind that I want to get going down there that I want to run past you, man. So I appreciate you even opening up your mindset and your doors. Salute to the simplistic things or the symbolistic things that you guys do, like having blacks on fabric, which isn't common. I appreciate that because you're staying rooted and what helps us as a community. And I love what I'm watching, y'all, because yes, it's a black-owned business, but I'm watching y'all build a multinational corporation that's attacking businesses of all structures and all races.
Yeah.
And that's the long-term vision I have for our people is to not just create businesses that only suit us. Let's go into some of these other communities and let's see if we can't service them as well, because when people look to come to service our community, they have absolutely no problem with doing so.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, 1,000%. Have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, man, and like documenting, talking about entrepreneurship, talking about your business? Like, have you ever thought about doing something like that?
No, I never really even thought about it. You know what? Until I guess, you know, being from where we from, I'm so like sheltered. I always like I just opened my Instagram up. You know what I'm saying? Like I just opened my, and I was like, you know, she was like, you gotta open your Instagram up. I'm like, you know, all right, I'm gonna do this, you know, and you know,
right.
I never really even thought about it, you know. Might be a thought.
Listen, once you do that class, and for me, I thought I could tell, knowing you personally, when I saw the class, I was like, oh, he's coming out the show now? Oh, okay, because I mean, same for me. Rell will tell you, Rell is always, of our partnership, been the social media guy. For me, I have so much of the throwback Baltimore in me of
that's
why am I on the
that's
camera?
Me.
What's on me for camera? What am I going to say on this camera?
Right.
But now, with this new space that you're going in, and now even what you do in your class, you have so much great to give.
Right.
And I'm learning that even within myself, that the same way I feel like I'm picking up and doing it, bro, if you feel confident in it, put yourself out there, because there's no one that's doing what you've done that comes from our community. You stamped. Ain't no rappers with their arm around you saying that was my man. I funded them some money. He got me a deal. No, you built everything you built from scratch, from Baltimore, Maryland. So if you create the channel, listen, we'll look, share, and subscribe. We would love to come on whatever platform that you on.
Big facts.
And I'm gonna tune in the class and try to push it to my clients or as many people as possible, because I know what it is you have. And you know what you have too, but it's just that for as hard as we are in public, I also know you're a family man. Yeah. So at some point, you're going to shut off certain things, play with your little one, hang with moms, hang with the wife. But in your transition, you're going to have to let some of that greatness out to the world. And not just you, to your brother too, that be hiding from conversation and running. He in this conversation. I was just in a room with a bunch of men that tried to salute him, and his way of responding was, let's talk about Jason and what he's doing great. Mm-hmm. So, Maul, same for you as well. What y'all doing, and I'm telling you, I would love to see the day come where y'all on the platform together, and showing people what y'all built coming from the trenches.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope, and you know, it's teaching lessons is the same thing as you teaching the class. And this internet thing, you know, is worldwide.
It is.
billion, you know, we talk about, you know, what, billions of people that you could reach. I mean, not even talking about the bag, but, you know, saving lives,
Right.
you know, empowering the culture, you know, getting people out of poverty that's looking for a way, that's maybe looking for the right way. I mean, there's tons of ways you can go out here and get it, you know, wrong ways, right ways, but, you know, they might hear your stories like, oh man, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. You know, let me flip the switch. You know, and nowadays we got these young kids out here. They either want to be, you know, a business owner, entrepreneur, or a YouTuber.
Yep.
You know, so they looking for people on the internet that maybe not in their neighborhood to look up to for certain advice, man. So think on that. Think on that. You know, yo, Jay, I tell you, yeah, I was on social media. I was on YouTube, but I wasn't as open as I am now.
Right.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
just like you, bro, sheltered. Wasn't really talking about my biz. I was and kind of still am the type of guy that, you know, you might even don't even know I own the company. I'm
Right.
I'm in the
Right.
background. I'm like a worker sometimes, you know. So I don't know. I think that's part of how we grew up, you know, in Baltimore. Yeah, you want to be known, but you don't want to be too known.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
That
I'm
man,
cool
but
with I'm cool with, you know, being in the cut and you thinking what you think.
yeah.
Well, and in Baltimore, let's be fair, it is mandatory.
Oh,
You have to move that way.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Exactly.
it ain't like you don't get the choice of deciding should you move that way. You have to move that way because everybody viewing your content might not have the same thought process.
Right.
But you know, especially that, you know, in a different situation, we surround ourselves by different people. You know, your greatness needs to be recorded, even if at minimum, when your little man comes up and people talk about who his dad is and was, him being able to click on those videos and be like, yo, like my pops was in his bag. Like, so now that's the kind of thing that as he gets older, when he's in his own journey and he feel worn down and he could call you, but he don't really he want to stand on his own. He can now click on that vid and be like, all right, I gotta lock in how my pops was locked in.
Right.
And for that legacy,
yeah.
for our young people, because part of creating generational wealth isn't just financial.
Right.
It's from a knowledge base and creating a platform for our kids so that they can say, listen, I see the levels that my parents got. Now we ready to take it somewhere else because we all can agree on this phone. What we're doing, our parents couldn't conceptualize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it was just, don't go to jail, don't die.
Right. Right.
Like, that's it. You know what I mean? So
like we live.
So at this point, the way that we create privilege for our children is by giving them spaces to get that knowledge, talking, and putting that content out there, bro. So if whether you choose to do it or not, you know you still want to be my guy. If you do, I will support it 100%. And if you don't, we're gonna work out some compensation package so I can get you on my own personal platform, so I can get you to speak that way. So at least I can get it to my people, because your message is great, but I think sometimes coming from me, because I'm from the hood, but my background is corporate America. I think sometimes people lose the core of me. And they think, you one of us, but you're a little bit different. So to bring in a different voice to see, this is a guy that's just as savvy, that is teaching you high level things. Don't discount the knowledge we have or the background that we have. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait till Tuesday, man. I'm gonna be tuned in. I'm gonna tell my clients to tune into your situation, my guy, and peace and blessings to all of your success for what you're building. And once again, not just salute the Design House Fabrics, but salute the Ryan Marie Designs. I see y'all as a conglomerate in terms of what y'all building, and salute to y'all for sure.
Appreciate you, y'all.
And there you have it, man. You know, again, we thank you for coming on the platform, kicking it with us for an hour.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jim, sharing your story. You know, we're gonna be in touch soon when we book those flights to come down Atlanta.
Yes, indeed.
And that's it, y'all. That's it. Thank everybody for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, because it's going to be on YouTube as well. And as I always say, stay positive, stay motivated. Salute.
Salute.